situation, but I totally think that Jacobs coming off that big fight with Triple G, this would be a perfect comeback fight for him. Don't give Chavez a warm-up fight. Just pay him, put him on TV, get him knocked out, and get rid of him.
I think all the attention's going to switch now to Chavez Jr. Jr.
Chavez Sr., you mean?
No, Chavez Jr. Jr. The other Chavez Jr.
Oh, Omar.
Omar.
Well, he had a big win against Alvarez's brother. Yeah, why not?
What's his record at now?
Lee, I don't know because he has a few defeats, I believe. He was beaten by whose son? I think it was Paez's son. Has like 2 defeats over Omar, and that's what really stalled his career.
I would start to focus my attention there. I mean, it's either that or get Senior back in the ring, but Junior's done. I mean, he's not.
No, I know he is. This fight is not about Junior. This fight, it would be about Jacobs. I'm saying the PBC, if they have a contract with Chavez, they have 1 or 2 fights. Why not? Why not? Jacobs can make a huge splash. If he was to knock out Chavez, say like Peter Cullen, people don't even know that Peter Cullen might be a bigger win than anything Canelo has in his career. Peter Cullen was an undefeated champion the night Jacobs knocked him out in 2 rounds. It's all, let's not look past Daniel Jacobs. You put him in the ring with Chavez. Chavez only has 3 defeats, 50 wins? 50 wins, 3 defeats? Why not? Why not, Lee?
Yep.
This is about Brooklyn. This isn't about the Mexican viewership. Not in this fight. He's done on that side. They booed him. They booed him, Lee. They booed him early. They booed him late. They booed him in the interview. I think he's done. He's probably moving to Southern California if he's not already there today.
There you go. That sums up the weekend. He should drive back to Mexico. That should be his punishment. In the back of... Here's what. He should get a Volkswagen Bug, old school, 70s, that actually breaks down frequently. And his punishment should be in the passenger seat, no radio, drive all the way back to Mexico.
It's going to be a hell of a fight. Because Canelo didn't get scratched.
He didn't get anything. I mean, I'll go back to it. Why didn't he finish that fight? Why didn't he put pressure on for 1 full round? And we go back to his previous fights where you repeatedly said, start strong and then stalls the rest of the round. Like, he's great for about 30 seconds.
And you can literally see it's like rounds 4, 6, 8, where he's taking 15 to 20 seconds off, Lee. And it wasn't a minute. Remember, he usually does a minute, but Chavez did nothing to make him take a minute off. When mentally, physically, everything is going for you in a fight, like I said, when you're just throwing punches and landing at will, it's hard to get tired. You're like an animal, a shark that sees blood. You don't stop. That's what Canelo looked like last night. He gasped for 15, 20 seconds, and Chavez did nothing to capitalize on it. That was the biggest letdown. He literally got Canelo on the ropes, would throw one combination, and then take 3 steps back and let him off. That's what I think his father was screaming about. Those were the moments talked about leading into this fight that Chavez needed to capitalize on. I don't understand how Nacho did not.
Oh, Nacho didn't say anything.
Didn't have that. Well, he has to take some of the blame. Not only that, I've always talked about Nacho being the missing link to Canelo's greatness as a boxer. I think Reynoso has now beaten Bercy twice with Canelo. He beat him with Angulo, and now he beat him with Chavez. Now, those 2 fighters are probably not what the ideal fighter for Nacho leading into one of his big fights, but it happened. He's met Reynoso. The Reynoso is him and his dad twice now, and Canelo has beaten both of his fighters, and really lopsided victories. It wasn't even close. So Nacho's got to take a little bit of the heat. He took the fight. He was in the corner, and his fighter did not look prepared at all.
Is that on Nacho or the fact that he just took a payday?
He took a payday, so you take the heat.
Everybody got paid.
That's right. You said it, Lee. And it's funny how the boxing world, they try to use that saying, but they twisted up just a little, but it's perfect. You dropped weight and got paid. You know what I mean?
That's it. I am a trend-setting fool.
We just think alike. We're going to stay humble.
Yeah. Nobody listens to the show.
I know. The looping right hand, Lee. The looping right hand needs to be corrected before.
It's hard for me to not put a shitty title on this show just to watch people tell me I'm a Canelo hater. Look,
You shouldn't. You shouldn't though. Look at Canelo is Canelo. He to me he's not going to get any better. The flaws that he has.
He's not getting any better is what I can see.
Yeah.
This is the same guy that if Floyd came out of retirement,
beat him again. Yes.
He'd lose again.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right. You cannot jab and send that hand down to your waist with Floyd Mayweather. The right hand's coming over every time.
Unbelievable. And
Lee, the uppercut from 3 feet away, back in the day, that was a no-no in the sport. I know Canelo's getting away with it, but you got to once again look at the fighters that they have in front of him while he's getting away with that punch. A guy who as experienced and as good as a Gennady Golovkin, don't know if you want to throw an uppercut from that far away.
I would hope, I'll check the boards before I leave town, but if there's betting already on Triple G and Canelo, I want Triple G by knockout right now. Whatever odds I can get right now.
This is the real Chavez. Anyone who's ever listened to me knows that Triple G, I've always been a fan of him because he said he tried to mirror his style after Julio Cesar Chavez. And in a lot of ways he does. The pressure, the left hook, the lead right hand on the ropes. He is that guy. He puts a tremendous amount of punches on you when you're on the ropes, and his punches don't play. He has what is Triple G's knockout ratio? Triple G is an 89% knockout ratio in the middleweight division. His punches do not play. Canelo, he's going to... Lee, listen. Canelo's a boxer with his hand speed, his accuracy, his combinations. I don't really see that great of a movement, feet work in Canelo. Do you?
No.
Last night, another nitpick. Here we go. Where was cutting off the ring?
He didn't have to.
He could have stopped him if you cut off the ring and you break the will. Listen, Chavez will take his beating for as long as he can, but this is a kid that has been stopped in his career. Cut the ring off a little. Don't just follow him around everywhere. That's possibly why they were booing. Like, this is not a dumb fan base.
No, I'll call it exactly as it is. There were a lot of Chavez fans in Vegas. There were. Chavez had fans. He had some.
I know. No, I'm agreeing with you.
And there were a lot of Canelo fans. There were more Canelo fans than Chavez.
75-25.
Yeah, that would be about my whole pick to it.
Yep.
Chavez didn't fight. I mean, he just... The simple equation is this. His intention, I'll say it again, he modeled himself after Oscar de la Hoya. He dropped weight and got paid. He had no intention of being in that fight. Now, I guess his next move would be in following in Oscar's footsteps, gain weight, and then take a phantom kidney shot and lose that weight next.
Lee.
Is that a great reference, or is nobody going to get that? Every boxing fan should know that without explanation, right?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know. Listen.
Because I was there for that fight, and nobody could explain it to me, and I paid for my ticket.
It was a bad acting job. Anyone who knows, or not who knows, who's seen a legit
Hold on, let's explain it. For those of you who don't remember, too young, or don't give a shit, Oscar de la Hoya lost to his business partner, Bernard Hopkins, via kidney shot, miraculously. Where
it was the pounding on the ground.
My favorite, the oh shucks, oh darn it.
And the
caught me. Yeah, right. But he did that. Shucks, he just sort of caught me.
The great body punchers, when they land that shot, it paralyzes people for 10 to 12
I
seconds.
haven't seen it in quite a while. I haven't seen a kidney shot really take somebody down lately.
Well, we haven't had too many fights where the guys are willing to do exchanges like that anymore. Sometimes it's a hit and grab type night, it seems, most of the time
I would
nowadays.
have given Chavez more credit if he was hitting and grabbing. If he would have done something,
Just punch, man.
anything, wrestle with him.
Lee,
Lower
there
the
was
knees.
there's times where once again I'm giving Canelo, a
He doesn't.
little
He doesn't deserve
benefit of the
credit. He
doubt here.
doesn't. He doesn't. He
He
did
was
the bare
trying
minimum. He
he
did the
was
minimum.
trying to get Chavez to fight. He was literally like it looked like he was on those ropes. Like, come on, at least because Canelo does like using head movement. He does. And with a slow, sluggish fighter like Chavez, I'm guessing that he was pretty confident Chavez would not have hit him if he would have thrown, 4 to 7 punches maybe at a time while he was on the ropes. But he
Once
never does. He
here's the
has
thing. I'm going to say this. Once Canelo crossed the line, right? For those of you who wonder what that means. Okay, so Chavez has got the reach by, I don't know, a foot and a half. I mean, literally all Chavez had to do was use a jab and keep Canelo off of him. Once Canelo stepped past the invisible line and engaged the first time without any repercussions whatsoever, that fight was over. The fight was literally over.
Well, it looked like in round one, Chavez was in survival mode. Lee, he never does he ever come forward all night? It was literally like you just said. The guy tweeted out a no hitter on everybody's scorecard. There was not even my oldest brother tells me, Marcos Reyes had more winning rounds in the Lemieux fight than Chavez had against Canelo, and it was true. Reyes, he was a minus 1,400. Lee, what did you say the odds were
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
see
it
it?
was 1,400. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
He was able to manage to get 2 to 3 rounds in his fight. Chavez couldn't give us. You wanted 3. He didn't give us any. On everybody's scorecard, it's 0-12.
Yeah,
Easy.
0 to 12. There is nothing positive to say about Chavez's performance.
Their
Nothing.
fault. Their fault. This is what ended De La Hoya's career. I think if Chavez was anywhere else but the PBC, his career would be over today. But I don't think it's over because of the PBC, and they just seem to have a lot of casual boxing fans, okay? Because it's on free TV and they're putting some marquee fights on those stations, they're generating a fan base that doesn't tune in to Showtime or HBO. That's the only way you get 5 million views for your fight, 6 million views, 3.5 million views. That's the only way, is by the average. And I think Chavez has one last fight, and they have to build it right.
I'm going to tell you this because the stats aren't out yet. I'm going to tell you what the difference maker on this fight is for fights in the future. They're going to show that the internet streaming had as many views as pay-per-view, or at least a big number, a substantial number. I'm telling you that online streaming is what's going to make this last fight.
And Lee, that's fine. It's all working right now. The online streaming, the pay-per-view, the closed circuit.
Well, now you're not forced to be at home. We all carry high
That's
definition
right.
20-inch TVs. You're telling me I can't go to the bar now with my laptop and watch it with my buddies?
Yep.
Come
No,
on.
I totally agree.
Why am I not going to have $125 worth of steak and watch the fight, or spend $400 and sit there next to 2 smelly guys who don't know shit about boxing and not see it as well? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to be at live fights. Love it. But I'm fucking spoiled now. If I'm not sitting on the ring or a couple rows back from the ring, I don't want to fucking be there. I don't. Like, even when I bought my own ticket on Friday, and I bought my own ticket on Friday, what was I? I was 1 row. You can go on social media and check it out. Like, I was just 1 row up on the lifter, like what I call the Bob Arum seats, where you're just up a little bit and eye level with the ring. Those are the seats. That's where you want to be. If you're not going to get that view, I don't understand this. How do you pay $100 or $200 and sit in a nosebleed at a fight? Explain it to me. Explain it to me in a way that I don't. Well, it's about going with your friends. It's the atmosphere.
That's all it is. Lee,
You know what?
listen, like you
Fuck
said,
that. Fuck
yeah,
that.
but Lee,